Alright. Alright. I'm gonna get right into what I got to say. I'm gonna tell you from age, since I can remember, to now, the shit I've been through. The trigger warning. Um, when I was little, my mom was with this man. His name was JR. Well, we called him JR. Uh, and my brothers call him Dad still to today. I don't have nothing to do with the man because of what he did to me. Age 4 to 11, he molested me from age 4 to 11. And I was unable to tell anybody about this because he told me he would harm my mom and my brothers. So I had to keep quiet. Didn't tell nobody about it till I was about 18. When I did, I didn't press no charges against him. I should have. I just didn't know. I know nothing about statute of limitations. I don't know nothing about that shit. I don't know nothing about it. Uh, so from age 4 to 11, I was molested. Um, my mom would make up excuses because I knew we lived in an apartment. And my neighbors would come up and say, "Hey, I heard." That lived under us would come up and say, "Look, I heard your daughter's bed squeaking and shit." And my mom would make up excuses like nothing was happening. So my grandma found out. My Grammy come and got me and took me away from my grandma. Took me away from my mom, not my grandma. Uh, I lived with my grandma from age 11 to 18, where I then went and I met my oldest two's daddy. Thought I was in love, but I mean, love is blind, I guess, you know. I mean, uh, he had me fooled big time. I met him. We started seeing each other off and on. Like, he lived in Ava, Missouri, and I was living in Olathe, Kansas at that time. But he did construction work, so he was always up there and all that shit. Well, come to find out, we ended up sleeping together. I got pregnant off the first time. My daughter. Uh, didn't know that he had somebody down home. Didn't know about her. Didn't know that she was pregnant as well. Um, I didn't know nothing about her. Not only was he sleeping with me, he was sleeping with her. He was sleeping with another girl. It's fucking. I should have left him alone then, but I didn't because he chose that he wanted to be with me. Well, me, him, my mom, and her now husband, she's with now, uh, all shared an apartment. Me and him had, I mean, many times argued, and like he would slap me, but it was never to the point where he would be beating me yet. That came when I had my side of the rent, our side of the rent, and everything was paid. My mom didn't have her side, so I upped and moved to California with him. We, right when I got to California, the beating started daily. I mean, daily. It was even pregnant with my daughter. It was a daily thing. And me being dumb, being my first love, being my first everything, like I was like, hey, that's his way of showing me he loves me, right? That was his way of showing me he loved me. That's what I kept putting in my head, like he's doing it because he loves me. And it got so bad that when I was living in California, I almost lost my daughter because of the beating, because of the it's, but I had her a month early, stayed there with them 4 months, put up with 4 more months of nothing but beating every day. If he didn't get his way, if I didn't go get his beer from the store, I got beat. If I didn't do this, I got beat. If I didn't do that, I got beat. If, if I didn't give him what he wanted, when he wanted, I got beat. It was a daily thing, it was like I wake up, I get beat. It was a daily thing. And then 4 months later, after his grandma and his dad and his aunt and his uncle seen how bad he was beating me, how bad things were getting from cracked ribs to fucking all that shit. I left him there in California. I took my daughter at 4 months old and I left him in California and I came back to Missouri. About a few months later, he come to Missouri out of nowhere, showed up at my house. How he found me, I don't know, uh, unless his aunt or somebody told him where I was, which they probably did. And I gave him another chance. Maybe he changed, because that's what he kept telling me. Oh, I changed, I changed. Don't ever listen to somebody when they tell you they changed. Don't ever listen to somebody when they tell you they changed, because it's not true. And I found out the hard way. I got pregnant with my son shortly after he come back from California, and the beating started again, and the fighting started again, and his drinking started again, and everything he promised me that he had was done doing all came back 10 times full force. So I, being dumb, I stayed with him. Like I was like, okay, like he loves me. This is his way of showing me he loved me. Because I was the only person that only showed me love as I was growing up with my two brothers, my grandma, my grandpa, and my nano. And I just, I stayed with them. Uh, the day I found out I was having a son, right after we left the doctor's office, like I was headed upstairs. He was in front of me at the house and he pushed me down the stairs. And like after that, I got up and my stomach was hurting. I was hurting, but I didn't, think anything of it. He followed me into the living room and proceeded to beat me. I was laid on the ground covering my belly because that's all I could think about was I don't need to worry about like anything but my child in my belly. Like that's the one thing that only thing I cared about was like my baby in my belly. And so I covered my belly to protect my child that was inside me. And the punching and the stomping and the kicking and all that, like, and I still stayed with him. Not knowing any better, not thinking, hey, this isn't right. This isn't right what he's doing to me. I shouldn't, like, he shouldn't be, like, why is he doing this? I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking, hey, he loves me. Maybe he can change. Maybe he'll change. He never wanted a son, which is weird to me. But he never wanted a boy. And most men want boys, which was like this is what conflicted me. Like, why do you not want a son? Every man wants a son. Like, why would you not want a son? When I had my son, the cord was wrapped around his neck and tied in a true knot, which my doctor told me, hey, if you would have moved one wrong way, he would have been dead inside of you. I didn't get to hold him. I didn't get to. I could go down and see him through glass, but I couldn't hold him. I had to have gloves on to touch him. He couldn't breathe on his own. He was a month early. Um, over 12 hours. I couldn't even fathom like what was gonna happen to my child. Was he gonna make it? Was he gonna pull through? Well, my preacher at that time showed up, and they told me, there was a 70% chance that he wouldn't make it, a 30% chance he was. And I told the doctor right in her eye, well, then there's a 70% chance I'm gonna make it and a 30% chance I'm not gonna make it. Because I just couldn't fathom the thought of losing him. Uh, it was rough the first 12 hours, and they proceeded to tell me that it was from the stress and the beatings and all this that their dad did to me is the reason he was where he was at. And they came to my room. They had guards standing outside my door for threatening to do something to myself over my child. They took everything away from me but my sheet. And then to top it off that night, like, the weather was really fucking bad. And they were talking about if we have a tornado, we can't move him because he needs that machine that he's on to breathe. Well, I wasn't going to be moved in either. And I told him that. And my preacher come and he tried praying to me and was telling me, hey, when you go to heaven, nobody up there, like none of your family members, and it's his exact words, is none of your family members are going to remember you because they're going to be too happy. Pretty shitty of a preacher to fucking tell you. You know what I mean? And my exact words to my preacher was, and I don't want to go to fucking heaven. Like, I don't care to go there. If my family ain't going to remember me and I can't rejoice and be reconnected. I don't really think that way no more, but and I can't be reconnected with my family, my loved ones. I don't want to go. Um, Now I stayed with their dad till my oldest son, was almost 1 year old. I left like after that. I left him. He, I don't even care where he's at now. But after that, I left him. About 6 years later, I mean, in between, I've seen other people, but they were no good. They were fucking not even important enough to fucking talk about. But after that, like 6 years later, almost seven, I met my little one's daddy through a friend. Um, was told, oh, he's this great guy. He's awesome. He's this. He's that. He's you know. And at first, he was just like my oldest two's daddy. At first, he was. He was a fucking great guy. That all changed. Like I got pregnant, and he started doing shards, and I don't fuck with that shit, and I didn't want it around. Uh, I stayed with him till I think my son was maybe 1 or 2 months old, and then I was like, "You gotta go. I don't want this around my child. I don't want this around me. I don't want this nowhere. I don't want it." So I left him, and I'm getting to the hardest part that there is to talk about. My 10-year-old was about 4. These guys I knew my whole life, knew them since we were in diapers, played with them when we were babies. Bodybuilders were over at my previous house. And it was just me and them just hanging out because I mean, I thought I could trust them. I thought I could. I thought, but I thought wrong. Like fucking, that was the most horrific night of my life. Um, we was outside having talking, conversating, and I needed to go to the bathroom. So I walked inside. I was followed, didn't know. I got into the bathroom, and before I could shut the door, I was pistol whipped, then dragged to my bedroom, where they proceeded to rape me. I had enough strength to scratch them. That's all the strength that I had. Because these guys were a lot bigger than me. So I scratched them. I got their skin under my nails. But when one was done, I was just so whipped again, and the other one had his turn. And afterwards, after they were done, I was stabbed 3 times and pretty much left for dead because my kids were nowhere around. They were with their grandma. They hadn't heard from me. It had been, I don't know how long I laid there, how long, but I hadn't talked to them all day. And my daughter at 14 was worried. She asked her Grandma, can we go check on Mom? And instead of my mom finding me, my 14-year-old daughter did. And and the police got here and the ambulance got here. I was immediately rushed. Had to do transfusion, upon transfusion. Was told that if my daughter had been a few more minutes later, I wouldn't be alive. And it's hard. It's hard. The things they told me when they were done with me, the things that they were saying, I was coherent enough to hear. They ruined me. I'm damaged. No one would ever want somebody that's been through that. And I believe them. I believe them. I mean, nobody wants somebody with that much of a dramatic past. Nobody wants to have to deal with the fucking of somebody who wakes up screaming from night terrors. Nobody wants that. The bad thing is, I didn't even care about the night terrors and the shit that was replaying over and over in my mind. It was my child that I was concerned for. Counseling upon counseling upon counseling to get her night terrors to go away from what she had to see that day. And I can remember as I lay there, bleeding out, I can remember I was praying. And this is bad to say, but I was praying that I didn't make it because I didn't want to have to live with that traumatic shit. I didn't want to have to fucking replay that anytime I see that house. I didn't want to have to relive that. I didn't want to have to go back through that every time. It's something I deal with every day. And because of what they did, because of being sad, because of all this, I have insecurities. And that's my problem. That's my fault. That's something I got to deal with. Like, it's something I deal with daily. When I go swim, I don't see people sit there and say, "Oh, you're beautiful, you're beautiful." I don't see the beauty that people see in me. I don't see it. And I blame what they did and what they said. And then my own father telling me the same thing, the exact words that they told me. Didn't help either. So I have insecurities. I have scars that I find very unattractive because of being stabbed. Because, and that don't even top off the scars I have from catching on fire. I had third-degree burn to my right ear, second-degree burn to my right hand. I had to have a skin graft. Now my right hand during like summertime when it gets when it's tanned out, it's like a fucking leopard. It's got spots. Like, and I find it unattractive. And that's my problem. That's my insecurity. That's my thing that I gotta deal with. That I gotta learn to get over. It's hard. And I don't know if I can, but I don't see the beauty that everybody else sees in me. When this is the truth. When I look at myself, I don't like looking at my eyes. I hate the color of my eyes because the guy that molested me from 4 to 11 would call me his green-eyed angel. So I hate the color of my eyes. Like, and then I hate my scars. So, and I get yelled at by my daughter, Mom, why are you hiding? Why are you wearing a shirt when you go, like, tank top over your swimming suit when you go swimming? Because I don't want people to see the scars. Because they're ugly to me. And again, that's something I gotta deal with daily. I mean, like, it's so bad. I hate seeing them so bad that before I even step foot out of my shower, I got a towel covering them. Like, I don't want to see them because they're a constant reminder of the most horrific night of my life. Horrifying. And that's something that I gotta deal with. Like, I'm trying to cope with. I'm trying to get over those insecurities. I'm trying to deal with it and actually look at myself and see the beauty that others see, but I just don't see it. And it's sad. It's sad because me not seeing the beauty that other people see, I push away amazing people. And that's my fuck up. I will admit I fucked up. It's been rough. The last few days have been hell. I still haven't even eaten nothing. But I fucked up. Nobody else did. I did. I fucked up. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry I fucked up. I'm very sorry. To everyone that was involved, to everybody that was, I'm sorry. I I have been through so much in my fucking life. I have dealt with so much in my fucking life. And then like when I find something so amazing, so beautiful, so like words can't express how good. I push it away because of my insecurities. Because I don't see what they saw. I don't see this gorgeous girl. I don't see that when I look at myself. And that's me being real right there. That's me being 100. I just don't see her. I see the beauty on the inside, but I don't see the outer beauty. And I fucked up something so good. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. To everybody that was involved, I'm sorry. There was no one to blame in this but me. But I just wanted to get on here and let that know. I got my daughter here for the weekend, and she recommended that I did this. And I'm sorry. I really am. I fucked up and made a big mistake. And I did it not because of my fucking insecurities. Because I was scared that this person would see the scars and not see the beauty he once saw. And that's my fuck up. And I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Um, I know I didn't read the comments. It's probably something that I probably don't want to read. But I'm sorry. But it's just nobody's fuck up but mine. Nobody's. I'm the one who fucked up. I'm the one who did it. I'm fucking so sorry. Anyways, I need to, I'm gonna go. Uh, I'm gonna take my daughter to get her nails done and spend some time with her while she's here. And I just wanted to put this out there. A lot of people don't know my past. A lot of people didn't know none of this. And I am sorry. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Remember, be you, stay you, and live a little. Bye bye.